Hi, my name is Jim Lambert. I am doing an assignment for my EDOL 721 journal, and it was based on Simon Sinek's TED Talk on how great leaders inspire action. My biggest takeaway is the understanding of why, and the main quote that Mr. Sinek gave during his presentation is that people buy what you do. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And the main reason for this may be, in my opinion, because people are searching for the answer to why their entire life. Children consistently ask their parents why to every question from the time they can talk and well beyond their teenage years. But and they get answers like "because I said so," or they get a very logical reason for the answer to their question why. Understanding this need to know why is rooted in biology, as Simon Sinek explains, and it's actually quite fascinating. Knowing that our limbic brain generates feelings of emotion, trust, loyalty, etc., explains quite a lot when understanding a person's need to fulfill that answer. In every aspect of life, we see examples of emotions driving behaviors, from political venues where people vote a certain way. They don't really vote how they logically think. They vote, in most cases, how they feel. People make rash decisions, usually emotionally based, and normally if they take the time to break away and go back to the logical side of their brain, they make a better decision in those situations. But by and large, as human beings, we make emotionally based decisions based on our limbic brain. And buy things based on the same principles of human behavior. So why is it so difficult to understand? And why do most leaders not start with why? Mr. Sinek explains how there's a golden circle, and people start what they have, and then they talk about how they want to get it out to people, and they talk about the why later. Well, by then it's too late because people want the answer to why now. I'm the same way, and I'm sure you may be too. But I believe that leaders do start with why, but it's their why, and not the why of a customer or a coworker or other people. I believe their why is selfish, and that's what drives them to start with the what. How can I get money? How can I get promoted? Their driver is an egocentrically based motivator and not what's in the best interest of others. So that could be a big issue there. Mr. Sinek gives several examples of this. He talks about Langley versus the Wright brothers and how the Wright brothers didn't have the resources, they didn't have the education, they didn't have hardly anything, but they had a passion and a drive, and they started with their why and what they were doing. Langley had government contracts, he had every resource possible, and he quit the day that the Wright brothers took flight because his motivation and his values weren't in the right place. A key point raised in understanding why is that people may be inclined to follow you or to follow someone based on the why that they value. Mr. Sinek talks about Martin Luther King and that he had a why that spoke to a nation of people, and people didn't necessarily follow Martin Luther King, but because their values were aligned, they followed his why. I believe in building people as individuals and building teams. Once people realize that my values are in their best interest, barriers fall and positive relationships begin to develop. Just as people can't explain their limbic brains and how they get a gut feeling, they may not realize that the question they seek when a new manager or leader or coworker comes around is they may be asking themselves, well, why is that person here? And once they find that out, then they can go, okay, now how can I work with that person and what can we get done together? And that's a much better approach, according to Mr. Sinek. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And in this case, it's not always a product you're selling. It may be you personally. They may buy into you based on why you're there. And I think that's very important to remember. Creating intrinsic value, hiring the right people and associate like-minded values. Just like the Wright brothers, if you have the right kind of passion, coupled with the right kind of values, I believe that's unstoppable. Relating this philosophy to biology validates not just curiosity, but it validates the need to adopt this process in order to be successful as a leader. So start with why.